first console I have ever owned when I was a kid was the Super Nintendo, and I remember playing two game series in particular as a kid, Super Mario and Donkey Kong Country. I used to own all three games in the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy, and they still are to this day some of the best platformers I have ever played. So obviously during E3 2010 when Reggie came on stage to reveal Donkey Kong Country Returns, I was pretty stoked. The game looked like a direct sequel to the original trilogy and ended up being so much more. Then a couple of years later, a sequel to this reboot was announced for the Wii U in the form of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Cheese. Oh wait, it's called Tropical Freeze? Oh my gosh, that makes way more sense. The game was pretty good. Heck, I even featured it in my top 10 Wii U games video, so you know I'm not lying here. So now, fast forward to 2018, the game gets to live a second life on the Nintendo Switch. Is it worth replaying it? Or if you haven't played it yet, is it worth playing? Well, I'm not gonna try to clickbait you here. Yes, it is worth playing it, and yes, it is worth replaying it. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is an amazing Donkey Kong game, and it takes everything that made Donkey Kong Country Returns good and builds on top of it to make it even better. But before we get into this review, I suggest grabbing some food to make sure not to starve. This way you can enjoy the whole video. The story in this game goes like this. DK and his pals are celebrating his birthday while suddenly an army of walruses, penguins and other ice animals attack their island and blast them far away. You know, kinda like Team Rocket in the Pokemon anime. It's not just me, right? Look, it's exactly the same thing. It is now your job to navigate through the many different islands until you get back to your DK island and get it back. Hopefully. Why do I say hopefully, you might ask? Well, it's because this game is not easy. You're gonna die a lot of times for sure. At least Donkey Kong has new buddies to help him on his quest this time around. Diddy Kong is back with his hovering barrel, but Dixie Kong makes her appearance, allowing you to have a little air boost when you jump with her. Finally, there is also Cranky Kong that comes as a playable character with his cane that allows him to bounce on pretty much anything, including spikes. To be fair, those new characters are pretty cool, but I end up using Dixie throughout most of my playthrough because I feel she's the most powerful character. She's almost overpowered compared to the other one. But behold, a brand new character exclusive to the Switch version, Funky Kong. Yup, everyone's favorite Mario Kart Wii racer is now a playable character in the main Donkey Kong franchise for the first time ever. And you know, this is how I mainly played Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, because I had already beaten the entire game on the Wii U, so I really wanted to see what this brand new Funky mode was all about. Turns out it really changes the way you play the game. Funky Kong is meant to make your playthrough a little bit easier, because he has more hit points and he can also walk on spiky things because of his surfboard, he has a double jump that he can use at any time, and he can breathe forever underwater. The double jump feature is pretty similar to Dixie's hair helicopter move thingy, except it's instant. Like you press the button, you jump, and boom, you double jump. There's no delay. To be fair, it does make the game easier, but not easy. For players that got frightened by Donkey Kong Country Returns difficulty on the Wii, try using Funky Kong on your first playthrough and you'll probably enjoy this game way more. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze's level feature different things to collect. There are bananas which give you extra lives. There's also the banana coins which allow you to buy stuff from the shop. You also have to find the Kong letters in every levels, and there are also puzzle pieces that are hidden everywhere. If you want to collect all of those things, you're really gonna have to explore every inch of every level ever, because some of the puzzle pieces are really hard to find. There are also secret exits that you can take to find new special levels, and collecting the Kong letters in all of the levels of a specific world will allow you to explore a very difficult special stage. Those special stages will really test your platformer skills, trust me, these ones are pretty difficult. To help you on your quest, you can visit Funky's shop to buy extra lives, partner barrels, additional hearts, and you can even hire Squawk the Bird to help you find puzzle pieces. Now, I'm going to answer everyone's question right away. What happens if you visit Funky's shop as Funky Kong? Are we gonna have a Luigi Inception like we did in Super Mario Galaxy? Well, the answer is no. Funky is just replaced by a red parrot with a lot of street cred. The shop also allows you to buy collectibles figurines that you can later look at in the gallery. These remind me a lot of the trophies in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and that's a pretty good thing. Every world ends with a boss battle, and those boss battles are pretty entertaining to say the least. Those enemies have different patterns and evolve throughout the battle. You might think you have figured them out, but then they completely change their attack pattern and you have to adapt yourself during the fight. This is one thing that a lot of other platformers don't have. For example, in the new Super Mario Bros. Series, well, after hitting an enemy twice, it doesn't really change its pattern, so you can defeat him way easily. The battles in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze are way better in my opinion. The game really shines in the level design aspect. All of the stages in this game are different from the previous one. They all tell a different story. 1 minute you'll be in a happy savanna during a festival, and the next one you'll be in a tornado dodging objects and enemies flying in your direction. And not to mention those beautiful levels where all you see are the outlines of your characters. These levels were already beautiful in Donkey Kong Country Returns, but are now in gorgeous HD with Tropical Freeze. And speaking of HD, well, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze runs at a solid 60 FPS at 1080p in docked mode, and that really shows. Like, the game is fluid, it's crisp, it's clear, it's beautiful. The minecart levels are back this time around and are harder than ever. My favorite minecart level has to be the one that takes place in a sawmill, where there are dangerous saws and other cutting things all over the place. You even end up losing your minecart to a piece of wood that floats on water, and the level will literally get built in front of you as you play it. This is freaking original, and that's pretty awesome. It seems like a lot of time and effort was put to ensure that every level was different from the previous one. And you know what? It works! This is to me what distinguished this game from, let's say again, Mario. With Mario, every world has a theme. You know, there's the grass world, desert, ice, and all of the levels from that specific world are similar to the previous one. Well, this is not the case with Donkey Kong. Sure, there are themes to every world, but every level explored that theme in a very different manner. The game also features a 2-player mode where you and a pal can play locally, one playing as Donkey and the other as either Diddy, Dixie or Cranky. This mode is pretty cool, but actually makes the game a whole lot harder, to be quite honest. I died a lot more playing with my friend than I did playing alone. Now comes another question. Should you buy the game? Well, obviously you heard it, I love this game, okay? But you have to take into consideration that this is a port of a Wii U game that is sold for full price on the Switch 4 years later. So if you already own the game for Wii U, it's hard for me to recommend picking it up for $60 on the Switch, because it doesn't add new levels, it only adds Funky Kong. If you haven't played this game before though, and you're a fan of platformer games, well then, totally go ahead, pick it up. It's a very solid game, and playing it anywhere using the Switch is pretty dang. In the end, I really enjoyed my time with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. It was fun from beginning to end. Never did I ever wanted to stop playing it because it was getting boring or there was a downtime or anything. No, every level is different, every level is fun, and that's what makes this one of the best platformer ever made. So, you know, this is a review and I usually don't give scores for reviews, but you know, I might as well start to do it. So I'm gonna give Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze 8 hamburgers out of 10. Why hamburgers, you might ask? Well, my name's Nico BBQ. Might as well put the BBQ part somewhere. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe and to turn on the notification bell to be alerted when I post a new video. Don't forget to give the video a like to show me you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.